Hey guys, welcome to the afternoon drive. Thursday, hopefully you're having a great Thursday. Mine went pretty quick. I'm not really sure tonight if I'm going to do the stream at 7. I'm going to be honest with you because a friend of mine is going to the poker tournament tonight, and I'm kind of feeling lucky. I don't know. I mean, I'll kind of figure it out as I head home. But he's going to be out there, and he says, "Are you going?" I said, "Yeah, you know what? I might. I do feel kind of lucky." So I may do the 7 o'clock. I'll let you know. I'll send a text and everything, and let you know if I'm going to be there this evening. Otherwise, I might take a little break and just go play some poker. I just have to think about, do I want to drag my butt up in the morning? So unless I'm going to call, because usually the tournament might get over around midnight or later. Then it's an hour drive home, so I have to decide, do I want to pull an all-nighter tonight, or do I really want to just kick back and enjoy my Thursday and then head into work on Friday? I don't know. Anyway, hope today's going good for you. We had a really cool day today. I mean, it was we talked a lot about these inmates that I have. A lot of them are, kind of hit and miss with what they're going to do. Know that I do this stream, morning and afternoon, and they said, Mr. J, do you think that would be a way that we could actually earn a living doing that? They have no clue that people do this for a living, that people stream and make money for a living. They do it full time. And so I was explaining to them, and I showed them like PewDiePie and Ninja, some of the guys that are doing the streaming, live streams for a career. And they asked me, they said, well, is there any live streams where prison inmates do this, and or ex-felons do that? I'm like, not that I know of. I said, so there's a market that's wide open for you, But they had also, once they started learning about people playing the games, a lot of these inmates are younger. They're younger kids that were into gaming or playing games, but then they came in and didn't really get involved in the live streaming side of things. So they were just mesmerized by teach them about, the social media and all that. So I thought to myself, you know what? OBS software is a open source software and everything, the stuff that we use to stream. So I was thinking I might actually go ahead and put together a class for them and teach them how to utilize the software, configure to them. But that was pretty fun today. I like talking about things that are new to them. I forget sometimes, we take it for granted, at least I do, being that I'm on the outside and I'm not in prison. I take it for granted that I have open access to all kinds of technology, news, and information, and they were very restricted. But that was pretty cool. And I did follow up a little bit more and tried to find out some about the. I was told, and I don't know if you guys were, if I brought it up during one of the streams, but I was having this debate with somebody about this law or something that they said was passed that was about the late-term abortions, and they told me, they said, oh yeah, they just passed it that, the mother can be fully dilated and everything, and they can still terminate the pregnancy, and and I says, no, that's a lie, that's not true. But then I found out, yeah, the Democrats did pass that, so I was just doing a little bit more research, and then I found out about some woman, and I got a big laugh out of this, in her Harvard Law School application. She's lied. I mean, she's basically said she was Native American. It's just like the other lady that claimed she was African American and she was white. Well, this other lady says she was Native American. I think that was either to get points or for whatever reason. But there was a bunch of documents that have come out where she's claimed to be Native American and she wasn't. So I got a big laugh about that. But I think the one thing that I just happened to catch on as I was doing during lunchtime, they had a picture of I don't know if you guys know, if anybody out there, if you know who Joy Behart is. Joy Behart. I mean, I don't know her myself. She's on The View with like Whoopi Goldberg, or she's on like one of those talk shows. Well, they had a big picture of her in blackface with an afro, hair, and painted up like she was an African American woman. And apparently, there's no problem with that. But you've got the one of the politicians that was in blackface with the KKK, another kid in KKK. He was eviscerated for that, rightfully so. But back, when you're kids, apparently you are held accountable today for what you did back when you were a child and didn't know any better. But if you're Joy Behart, apparently it's okay. You can laugh about it, and it's no big deal. And I just you talk about a dual standard, and the hypocrisy is just, it's so entertaining in itself that what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. You can't have it both ways, people, but they do. Hollywood has their own perception of reality. Their reality is nothing in line with the rest of working class America. And I just find that so funny. When you got millions of dollars and you're living behind your gated community with your alarms and everything, but then you're upset when the American people that are minimum wage earners or hardworking, middle class, they want the same protection to keep out people that would do them harm. You don't want to give it to them. I just laugh. I'm like, these people are just so amazing in Hollywood. They're just so out of touch with reality, and it's just, I think the money does that. Let's give them a $30,000 a year job and put them to work in a real job and see exactly how much their attitude would change. Oh, I mean, everything today, I kind of just glazed through the news, and one thing after another was making me smile, and I'm just like, they don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. It's okay for her. It's okay for him, but that was actually fun today. I didn't get off on a couple times. They tried to pull me into a political discussion, a political conversation. I wasn't having none of that. I wasn't having any of that. They were like, well, did you hear this and did you hear that? I said, don't care. Don't even care. No, but they said this, they said that. I don't care. Well, I wasn't even listening. Didn't even want to hear it. But, yeah. Well, did you hear about the Trump that fell asleep at the, State of the Union? Don't care. I don't care. I mean, yeah, it was, I had more fun. I did actually, and then I did see a UFO today. Not personally, but I saw there was a story about a guy that he was actually following the birds. He was looking, videotaping these birds, and he caught something on the camera, and when they played it back, it very much looked like a UFO. They slowed it down, and really, go check it out, man. I'm telling you, maybe we're not alone. You never know. So there was a lot of stuff today. I just kind of I took it tongue in cheek, and nothing was personal. Then I got a guy trying to sell me, which I really got a kick out of. He was trying to tell me why cryptocurrency, why I should go buy and invest in Bitcoin and this cryptocurrency, and how much money could be made in it, and how his friend has 2 or 3 Bitcoin mining rigs going, and he pulls down about $10,000 to $15,000 a month. And I said, well, your friend is lying to you, and don't take it personal. I'm sure he wants you to believe that, but with 3 little mining rigs, you're not pulling down $15,000 a month. Even if they're going 24/7, 365, it's not happening. So he insisted, and I was like, I'm not going to argue with you. So I finally said, but let me explain to you how it makes. How do people make money with Bitcoin as miners? So I had to kind of go into the whole thing about, you have to solve this hash. Your rig has to have enough power to solve this hash before the next one does, or you don't get and you get a little piece of that coin. So I had to go through the whole thing, and this guy was like, well, how can, because I explained to him that there's people that have warehouses, absolute warehouses with hundreds, if not thousands, of rigs that are completely designed, like his friends. He said, well, he's got a Pentium this and a Pentium that, but it wasn't designed purely for mining. It was regular PCs that he wasn't using and he put to work making money. And I said, no, your friend is lying to you. I said, there's people with hundreds, if not thousands of rigs, and they're specifically designed hardware only with the algorithm, with the software built and flashed right into the chipset to where all they do is mine for Bitcoin. And one function, 100% of their CPU and resources are dedicated, and they don't make the equivalent for 3 machines of 15,000, 10 to 15,000. So you can't believe what everybody tells you. And he was saying, well, Bitcoin's going to be this Bitcoin. And I says, look, it's literally not backed by any Federal Reserve or any reputable anything. I said, so save your money, don't listen to what people tell you. And he did his best to convince me. You can see it was $20,000. I says, okay, what is it right now? Oh, I says, is it 20? Is it 10? No, it's like, I think it was 7, or I don't even know what I said. But the thing is, it's so volatile, so unstable, and it's not real money. I said, so let's say you're fortunate enough, let's say your friend is mined for 10,000 Bitcoins. I says, where's he going to spend them at? I says, there's a charge every time you redeem a bit, you redeem it. Let's say, for example, Starbucks took Bitcoin for their, mocha latte, venti, whatever they have at Starbucks. You go in there and you say, I want this drink. They're going to charge you about $30 in a transaction charge just for that drink. So on top of the $7 or $8 you're going to pay for it, you're also going to pay a premium, a surcharge, or if you will, a charge to actually use that Bitcoin in that facility, establishment. And he'll say, oh no, you can go if you have $10,000 in Bitcoin, you can go to the exchange and they'll give you $10,000 cash for it. I said, no, they won't. Yeah, and he was so insistent. Yeah, they will, man. You go and do. I said, no. Yeah, I don't know what people are telling you, but that's not how it is. Bitcoin was basically, and the thing is, he didn't even understand that there's only a limited amount of Bitcoin out there. There'll never be more. When they actually created, when the gentleman, well, they don't know actually, but they speculate the Asian gentleman that created it, it was basically just to see if this concept would work. And there's only so many Bitcoins ever out there. There'll never be more. And he argued with, I had to go on and show him, this is how it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. Cryptocurrency will have its time, but the value will never be in the cryptocurrency. It'll be in the blockchain, the technology behind keeping a ledger that a ledger that is a distributed ledger. It's not something that you have on one machine. Keeping it distributed and making sure that it's safe from hacking, and that's going to be where the money's at. Not the cryptocurrency. Do you know how many cryptocurrencies are actually out there? And I'm going to get, if I said 1,000 different cryptocurrencies, that would be probably an understatement. There's probably way more than that. Everybody and their brother can do an IPO, or not, no, actually they're not called an IPO, they're called a ICO, the initial coin offering. Anybody can do an ICO, anybody can start a cryptocurrency. You've got cryptocurrencies started for pot, marijuana, everything in their brother. You just come up with a catchy, cool name, you got a cryptocurrency. It's not that it's difficult. there's just nothing of value that's built around them now. There's nobody standing behind them. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I hate talking to guys about it that go off of what their friend told them or what, oh, well, I read this, I read that. Have you researched it? Have you really got a chance to look into it? No. Well, so I went on YouTube and I pulled up a video of one of the larger bit mining organizations. They have several thousands of machines in several warehouses, and they do. I think the guy was saying they make in between $1 to $5 million a day, or is it a day? Yeah, I think it was a day or something like that, depending on the amount of transactions. So they were explaining it to basically to whoever was watching, and it was interesting. And I think they finally got the gist that you're not going to make any money with just a couple rigs, and you've got to make sure that you're in an area where you get, if you're not paying less than 10 cents a kilowatt hour for your electricity, you're paying any more than that 10 cents, you're not going to make money. It's just the rigs won't even run cost effectively. So, yeah. It was always fun. But at a certain time point, you get tired of arguing with them, and because they know everything. And even when you can show it to them in black and white, even though you can prove it, they will still agree to disagree because their friend told them something. And gosh knows the guy in the cell next to him wouldn't lie. I don't know. Just laughing. Oh, man. So anyway, what's going on with you guys? Anything new? Anything fun? Yeah, I told you about the poker tournament. I don't know, guys. I may or may not do it. It just depends. What I might do is start the stream. No, I won't start it early. I wonder if I could do the stream from the actual poker room. The tournament starts at 6. Stream starts at 7. I could probably play the first hour and then stream from the actual... I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I can get away with that. We'll see. I don't know. Oh. So what else happened today? Anything good? Oh, they tortured me again with popcorn. They did it yesterday. They did it again today. They're making popcorn. They know they're not doing it intentionally, but I'm on this, watching my carbs, and yep, I can smell it all the way down the hall. So I didn't even think about it. I just went, grabbed a bag, put some cheddar, salt on it or whatever, and headed back to the room, sat down, hung my head down, and said, oh my God, I can't even believe it. And I ended up throwing it away because I couldn't eat it. It's just like when we're on the channel and you guys say pizza, it just makes me realize how much of the things I miss. Even going to the movies the last weekend when I went and saw the couple of movies, to sit there in the theater and smell hot buttered popcorn and not being able to take a fistful of it for the movie. Oh, torture. But I'm feeling a little bit better. The last couple days, man, it was... remember I was telling you guys that you got to eat on this thing all the time, 5 times a day, 6 times, to keep your metabolism going. And I've kind of fallen away from that because I don't like to eat breakfast. And I very rarely eat lunch. I was usually just eating a dinner. And they're saying on this diet that I'm on, you can't. You've got to eat constantly. And I wasn't. And so for a while I've been eating 5 times a day or more. But now I've kind of tapered back down to 1 meal again. I can't eat all the time, and it's great. People say, oh my God, you're eating all the time, you're losing weight. And it's like, yeah, but it really loses its novelty because the truth of the matter is you can't eat all that food all the time. So I'm going back down to just 1 meal a day. It might take, that's what they said, it'll take longer. Oh, in no hurry. If it takes longer to lose the weight, it'll take longer, but I can't do 5 meals a day. I can't. So, anyway, what else did we talk about today? Just kind of a slow day, really. Hopefully your day was more interesting than mine, because I found out that it's kind of probably like any other job. When you go into work, it's the same. We fall into that same routine every single day. You get up at this time, you go to work, and then you get off at this time. And in between, what happens between the time you're at work and the time you leave, many times, truthfully, it's the same stuff day after day after day. And it kind of wears on. I've noticed, too, that, I'll be leaving work and I'll be tired, just exhausted. And not that I've done anything. I haven't really done anything other than stay awake during class and give instruction. But I find myself just so tired. And it's tough because I don't know why. I'm like, at first I thought it was the eating and all this, but it's not. It's kind of like a boredom tired. So today that's why it was kind of exciting to talk about the streaming and, thinking about putting something together, because it truly helps me focus, but also helps put the focus on the folks that I'm there to help, say that again. I don't even know if that made sense what I said. See, I'm tired already. Yeah. It helps to be able to change it up a little bit during the day and have something that you're focused on that's different. When the day they all kind of, that's why today it's Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a blur. Literally, I don't even remember what it's just like. Everything just all blends together after a while. Now maybe your jobs and the jobs you've got, maybe every day's excitement, every day changes, it's something different every day. That's great. I hope that's kind of your life. I hope every day's something different and always new and entertaining, and you learn stuff. I hope that's how you are, because I'll tell you, if you have a job like that, or that you love and it's entertaining and it's ever changing, that's great. But man, you get caught in a job where I've done everything I could. I've done everything I could to automate my job, to streamline it, to make it easier, to make it better, to make it more impactful. So I've basically almost taken myself out of the equation. The class can almost run itself if I wasn't there. And I'm thinking, okay, that's kind of how I want it. But the truth of the matter is, it's boring. Literally, it is just agonizingly boring when you're forced, and I do mean forced, to be expected to come in there every day and teach when you have really nothing new. Computers over the last 10 years haven't changed that much, other than being made faster, hard drives being made solid state. There's just a whole bunch of things you gotta work around when you're teaching, and you're always the same thing. 6 hours a day, same everything day after day. Oh, man. So that's why I want to get a job working for Geico where I can save 15% of my insurance, because then I'd be working with new people every day. That might work, No. Oh, yeah. I was going to listen to Sean Hannity, and I couldn't find his channel on here again. I've tried to listen to him a couple times, and I'm going back and forth trying to listen to all these different folks to get some insight on the news, what's going on, but it's tough for me to find what station they're on. But him, I think I did find. I put it in the memory of my radio, so I think I can find him next time. But that's pretty much the gist of what I've been doing today. Just doing absolutely nothing. Actually, you know what, guys? I hate to do this, but I just caught myself again thinking. I try to think out loud. I try to kind of talk about what I'm thinking, but I found myself just a second ago doing it where I just kind of zone out, and I'm not. This is what we were talking about the other day. It's really hard to kind of keep going and keep topics coming up, especially if you work in a place like I do. It's boring as hell. You can be the best teacher in the world, but the truth is, you're teaching the same shit same stuff, excuse my language, the same stuff over and over again. Yeah, it grinds on you, and it does. It makes you're kind of numb, you know? It takes you time to get home, kind of unwind before that numbness goes away. And, boy, I hope your jobs are not like that. I hope your jobs are exciting, fun, you know, or at the very least, they could be terrible, but you have to deal with customers that, you know, customers are one thing. You got all kinds of different stories and situations. Inmates, it's the same old. Every day, same thing. So, I'm going to try to listen to Hannity and see if I can get to his...
This News 13 update sponsored by the Wicked Wheel Bar and Grill, home of the Blue Plate Special, a new special launch every day of the week. Great comfort food at a great price. And now, your local news from News
4 o'clock, yep, right on the nose. Right on the nose.
County Sheriff's Office employees have been fired after an alleged sex scandal. The allegations vary among the 5. They allegedly broke department policies ranging from violation of agency rules, conduct unbecoming, inappropriate relationship, truthfulness, honesty, and good order. Investigators say the incident began with an allegation made against a communications officer. It was said she had a sexual relationship with 2 deputies and a sergeant. She later admitted to the relationship. The Bay County Sheriff's Office set out to catch prostitutes and the men who allegedly solicited them for sex using a website to communicate. Investigators used the same site for their operation, and 8 people were arrested. Gulf Power officials asking state regulators to approve a plan that could increase your utility bill. Hurricane Michael knocked out power to more than 135,000 Gulf Power customers. If approved, they could start collecting the money in April. I'm Jerry Brown for News 13. Panhandle Strong on News Talk at 101.
Well, there you go, guys. News.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg. The Justice Department says Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker will not testify before a House Judiciary Committee if he is subpoenaed. Earlier today, the committee voted to authorize a subpoena if Whitaker does not answer the questions they believe are relevant at a hearing tomorrow. President Trump addresses a national prayer breakfast in Washington, D.C., making a pledge that his administration will continue to protect religious freedom. USA Radio Network's John Clemens has more.
Mr. Trump also promised the audience that he would never let them down as he continued his commitment to the pro-life cause.
Every life is sacred, and every soul is a precious gift from heaven.
Mr. Trump's comments also included that faith can lead a person throughout their life.
When we open our hearts to faith, we fill our hearts with love.
This is USA Radio News.
Cars that sound like this. Trust Pennzoil Synthetics to protect their engines in extreme conditions. Top racing teams know that Pennzoil Synthetics give them the performance to help them succeed. And your car's engine deserves the same. Because your daily commute is no less important. Get complete protection for top engine performance, just like the pros. Visit Pennzoil.com/rebate to save on Pennzoil Synthetics. Terms apply.
Hey, Mike, how's the house going along?
Needs a ton of work. The pipes are leaking. Needs a new roof. The AC just broke. I just don't have time to do it all myself.
Yeah, guys, I kind of made up my mind. I'm not going to do the tournament tonight, I don't think. I'm sitting here yawning and just zoning out. And I know I've got a stream going. I'm like, I'm so beat from work. And the thing is, I'm not even tired because I was working hard. I'm more tired because I wasn't working hard. I mean, I love my job. I like doing what I'm doing. But it's just like, there's so many things that these guys can't do that I can't show them, and I can't, you know, because of being in a prison. And I have to find workarounds to where I can, you know, kind of give them the experience, or kind of, you know, teach them on certain things. And doing all those workarounds, just, it's a cheat. It's not like the real thing. But by the time your day's done, man, I'm just so spent, and I'm not even kidding. I mean, I could just sit here and I could zone out, and I'd probably self-drive with my eyes closed, which is not a good thing. I don't recommend that at all. But it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, oh, I could just crash. Oh, literally crash. So I'm going to go ahead. I think what I'll end up doing, I'll probably go home and take a nap, and I'll be on the 7 o'clock. If you're following me through, you know, through the drive, I'll see you at 7. I'm going to be there, and we can pick up, and you can tell me, man, you were zoned out. You can tell me all you want, because I know I was. But I'll try to be there at 7 o'clock on time. I'm going to go home and take a nap. I'm going to swing by and get some chicken wings. Gotta get the old chicken wings, man. So I'll get those, and then I'll have some quick nap for maybe an hour. What time is it? 3 o'clock? 4 o'clock? 4. I'll get a little bit of a nap in there, and try and jump online at that point. Yeah, whew, man. This is the best part of my day. When I get this bridge, I see the water on both sides, and I know that I'm that close to home. I mean, I live right over there, so I can actually see the condos next to where I live. So I know I'm not too far from home now. And I just hope that I stay wide awake and alert. Let me see what I got. I want to see if Sean Hannity's on and if he's got any good news.
Well, we're coming to your city. Gonna play our guitars and sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than a jetliner. And if you want a little bang in your yin-yang, come along.
Who is that? Little Big Town or something like that? I can't remember. Sounds familiar.
How will we be remembered? I ask the men and women of this Congress, look at the opportunities before us.
Caffeine.
Our most thrilling achievements are still ahead. We have not yet begun to dream.
Freedom is back in style. Welcome to the revolution.
Caffeine. Sing along.
New Sean Hannity Show. More behind-the-scenes information on breaking news and more bold, inspired solutions for America. Stay right here for our final news roundup and information overload.
All right, news roundup, information overload. What a week this has already turned into being. There is a breaking story before we're going to look at the President Polls numbers, and the current field of radical extremist Democratic socialists that are running for and vying for the nomination. The Miami Herald broke a big story today that we're going to pay pretty close attention to. And that is the investigation into accused multi-millionaire, accused pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who we all know, remember they called it Lolita Express, and he had this island that was dubbed Orgy Island, and he hosted Bill Clinton, other powerful political figures on this island retreat.
Really?
And apparently, reportedly, dozens of very young girls and referred to in the media as Orgy Island. But so the Miami Herald says that the Department of Justice has now opened an investigation into the Secretary of Labor, Alex Acosta's role in negotiating his plea deal with the wealthy New York investor accused of molesting all these young underage girls in Palm Beach. That's in response to a request by Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska, and a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, was critical of the case following a series of stories in the Miami Herald, which detailed how Acosta, then the U.S. Attorney for South Florida, other DOJ attorneys, worked hand in hand with defense lawyers and cut a lenient plea deal with Epstein in 2008. And the Justice Department's Office of Professional Responsibilities now opened an investigation into this. And it just goes further than that, but we'll have to wait and see where that goes. He ended up getting like next to no jail time and basically got stay-at-home confinement, which was pretty unbelievable. Anyway,
got money, I guess.
Now to discuss, okay, what is 2020 shaping up to be? The president's poll numbers were down as low as 43% during the height of the shutdown, but are now at a healthy 49%. The next couple of days, by next week, we'll get to see if he gets a bounce from the State of the Union, which I believe he will get. Joining us now, John McLaughlin. He is a pollster, founder of McLaughlin and Associates. Doug Schoen is with us, also a pollster, author, political analyst for Fox News, and rumored to be an advisor for former New York City Mayor Bloomberg and his potential run for president, which would mean nobody in America could buy a Big Gulp. Every restaurant would have to keep salt and pepper off the table, and you'd have to request it in order to get it, and the nanny state would be taken to a level that would be pretty scary. Is that true that you're working for him?
Well, Sean, we have devised a special...
Don't even drink soda at all, ever. But I mean, the idea that the government is going to tell me no, act differently than the way he governed in New York. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that he has always understood the importance of leading media figures and that your interests.
Oh, so I'm going to get a special. I'm going to get a special exemption.
Exactly. That's
the Hannity Big Gulp exemption. That's it. That's what we're going to call it.
Exactly.
Well, it'll be interesting because you got Howard Schultz, who CEO of Starbucks, former CEO. Then you got crazy Uncle Joe Biden. You can't go to a Dunkin' Donuts or a 7-Eleven unless you have a slight Indian accent. And talking about Obama, he's articulate. And
you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook.
Yeah, the president's clean and articulate. Imagine that, Doug. Jeez.
Well,
crazy Uncle Joe.
Look, I think we're in a situation, seriously, Sean. The Democrats are deeply divided. They are far left. And while I don't think the president has necessarily come up as high as your numbers suggest.
Well, that was Rasmussen. Rasmussen polls every day had him at 49%. He's been right in the last presidential elections.
That's my point of reference. John doesn't either. But the point is, we are seeing a pickup. And with the Democrats as polarized, and with there being no message except the Green New Deal and related issues, I think, John McLaughlin, you'd agree the Democrats are back on their back foot and that the advantage has moved back in the president's direction.
Well, I think if you look at this new Green Deal of Ocasio-Cortez, I think you'll learn a lot, when they're setting, goals, net zero emissions at the end of this 10-year plan. We're going to get, just look at what we're getting rid of. Pretty much everything.
Planes, trains, cars.
No, airplanes. Americans are really going to respond well to this. That we're going to get rid of cars and we're going to have high-speed trains everywhere, and it's all going to be done in 10 years, and we shouldn't worry how much it costs.
Right.
By the way, and a job with a family-sustaining wage, whether you're willing or economic security for all who are willing or unwilling or unable to work, unwilling to work. Oh, okay. I don't feel like working. Pay me.
It's just socialism. And but go back to your original subject. The president's speech was it's probably the best one he gave. And even when CBS and CNN say out of the 47 million people that watched it, it was up from last year's State of the Union. Out of the 47 million people that watched it, 76% said they approved of what he said. And they liked his ideas because it really was a broadening speech where he was reaching out. The majority of voters who watched it said he was trying to unite people. They 72% favored the ideas they heard on immigration. He said he wanted to increase legal immigration. 71% said there was a crisis on the southern border. 74% said they favored his proposals for the troops in the Middle East. So you've got a lot of momentum coming out of that speech, but only 47 million people saw it. Because the bad thing is, when you go back to 2016, where you had 139 million people go out and vote, 82 million people that voted in that election, plus any new voters, didn't watch the speech. They get their filter from the media. So the media, the things that you and I saw that we liked, and the quotes we saw that we liked, that's not what they played in the media. In the mainstream media, they were playing quotes about the investigation. There was one little quote. They didn't play that he wanted to certainly compromise and increase legal immigration, that the economy is going great, that America is as strong as it's ever been in terms of security. But basically, that was President Trump reaching out and broadening his appeal, and that's why you've seen his numbers won't bounce in these polls, in the media polls. They'll grind up because there is significant opposition to him. The deep state, the political establishment doesn't like the guy. The mainstream media, the liberal media doesn't like the guy. So he just has to constantly grind up and move his numbers up and get the facts out to as many millions of people as he can. And while the Democrats are fighting out in the bit.
All right, guys, hope you got something out of that. It was probably more interesting than I was today, just trying to stay awake. And I'm here. I'm going to grab some wings for tonight for dinner. And then I'm going to try and take a nap, and I'll be back at 7. I actually want to kick around some more ideas over the next weekend, too. I think I have some new tweaks I want to do to the show, and we'll just have some fun with it. But I appreciate you hanging with. If you actually hung with me during this afternoon drive, God bless you. I don't know what you were thinking, but I do appreciate you. Do me a favor and follow me on Twitch if you can. Subscribe or whatever on your platform that you're actually watching me on. I appreciate that. I'm being a new streamer. Every little bit that I can get from you, any kind of suggestions, all of that is welcome. You can go ahead and email me at povamerica@outlook.com, and I will try and answer all the emails I get and address them. If you want me to on the stream. But appreciate you guys for hanging tight with me on the way home today, and I will talk to you tonight about 7 o'clock. I don't believe I'm doing that tournament, so I'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks.